One year as Eastwood was hitching a ride aboard a Navy torpedo bomber, the plane ran out of gas and was forced to ditch into the Pacific Ocean, approximately 3 miles off Point Reyes Station. Eastwood and the pilot used the life raft to swim more than a mile through the tide to the shore. It was at Fort Ord that Eastwood was the first introduced to Hollywood types who were impressed with him, who was impressed with his look, but not his acting abilities. Not a big deal. After his discharge in 1953, Eastwood attended LA City College and studied drama, using the GI Bill. By April 1954, he had received his first studio contract. He eventually found international fame in Italian-made spaghetti westerns, which established his hard-boiled persona and more than a 60-year career in Hollywood. All right, folks, we are down to number 1, and I bet you can't guess who that is. Well, it is another music and acting celebrity. Number 1 is Elvis Presley. The Army teaches boys to think like men. By the time Elvis Presley was drafted into the U.S. Army, he was already one of America's biggest stars with a string of hit songs, movies, and memorable TV performances under his belt. So when he received a draft notice, qualified as 1-A draftee, and then actually joined the Army, it was sensational news. Presley didn't shirk from his duty and found himself trading in his leather jacket for Army greens. He entered the Army as a regular GI at Fort Chaffee, Arkansas, on March 24, 1958. As his famously tousled hair was shaven down to regulation length, he cracked, "Here today, gone tomorrow." Elvis was sent to Fort Hood for basic training and was assigned to the 2nd Armored Division, also known as Hell on Wheels. He later was assigned to the 3rd Armored Division and stationed in Friedberg, Germany. There, he met Priscilla Biolo, who eventually became his wife. He also told the media that he wanted to be treated just like any other soldier, saying, "The Army can do anything it wants to with me." Unlike most other soldiers, however, he used his leave to record 10 top 40 hit songs, donated his Army pay to charity, and purchased extra uniform and equipment for his fellow soldiers. By the time he finished his Army stint, Elvis had been promoted to sergeant, and he was honorably discharged from active duty on March 5, 1960, at Fort Dix, New Jersey. Just prior to separating, Elvis reflected on his experience in an interview for Armed Forces Radio and Television. "I was in a funny position. Actually, that's the only way it could be. People were expecting me to mess up, to goof up in one way or another. They thought I couldn't take it, and so forth. I was determined to go to any limits to prove otherwise, not only to the people who were wondering, but to myself as well." So there you have it, your top 10 celebrities. I hope you enjoyed this segment. As always, you can find me on Spreaker, Anchor, Facebook, Instagram, Getter, Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Reddit, iHeart Radio, and TikTok. www.spreaker.com and search for Cat's Cauldron, and you will find me there. Like, follow, and subscribe on whatever platform you find me on. And as always, see you tomorrow.